Hi, I'm the ballsy badass Shotzi Blackheart, and you're watching True Hill Heat.
Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phone, but I'm also making an appearance for True Hill Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the right. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some, some rap in the show. So let me know.
Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat, SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
One more time. One last time. Hello, hello, hello. It is me. Your True Hill Phenom SP3. And we are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for our WWE Saturday night's main event, November 1st, 2025 preview. Breaking down the second to last Saturday night's main event for 2025. Two huge world title matches, women's title up for grabs, and the Intercontinental Championship up for grabs this Saturday in Salt Lake City, Utah. And you know what we do here? We will break it all down and give you our predictions as only we can. Usually, I would be joined by the lovely, the always effervescent, and unfiltered greatness and brilliance that is the one and only Maggie. But unfortunately, Maggie had an emergency, so she couldn't make it for us. So send some love to her in the chat. If you're watching us on demand, put it in the comment section. Tell us how much you miss Maggie and you want to see her on the next preview that we do, which will be for Full Gear. Yeah, Full Gear in a couple of weeks' time. So let us know in the chat there. She always loves the pleasantries that you guys give her in the live chat as well as in the comment section. But I'm here with all of you. So that means that you guys are my co-hosts to break down the card for Saturday night's main event. We don't have much to discuss, so we shouldn't be long, right? So how about it? I appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You could share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys while we're here live on stream. I think the True Hill Heat YouTube channel goes live as much as any other YouTube channel out there. So if you are new to us, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. We've been getting a lot of new subscribers over the past week. We're closing in on 25,000 subscribers. A huge milestone for us. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. We wouldn't be able to have a YouTube channel as long as we have. We have celebrated 7 years of this YouTube channel this year, and none of it would be possible. We wouldn't be able to keep going and do previews for Saturday night's main event and all the PLEs and all the pay-per-views if it wasn't for each and every one of you. So thank you so much for all the support that you give us constantly on the live streams, on our posts here, the community tab, and everything in between, as well as social media. Always appreciate that. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with y'all. Like I said before, if you're feeling generous, you want to get back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel and show some love to me with a super chat donation, you can do so. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. You got our main man here, one of our contributors, one of our big supporters in the chat, and moderator Valop saying just 1K away, less than 1K away actually. When you see it's like 24 point whatever, it's usually not like at the 00 after that. It's usually a couple of numbers, so we're less than 1K away. So always appreciate any new subscribers who want to join us and be a part of our community and be a part of it. You don't have to agree with everything we say. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna say some stuff y'all don't agree with. I always appreciate y'all if y'all can express that without being a dick. Like what you like, just don't be a dick, as all the greats say. We got in the chat here Zach Minger showing us some love, telling us it's National Oatmeal Day. SP3 and Maggie, if you had your oatmeal, let us know in the chat. We got Volop who says, between half-ass Phil and 2 packs of ass Jay, it's all just ass. Guess that's one way to look at it. I think that we're gonna be pleasantly surprised by Punk versus Uso on Saturday. Pleasantly surprised. I think that's my expectations for this matchup. Alan is in the chat with us today. Good to see you, Alan. He says, "What's up, STHH family?" He also says, "I'm sorry, SB3 and Maggie, y'all are going to watch a good main event to just to end in a DQ finish when the Bronze lay everyone out." I think that WWE did a decent enough job of telling us that that probably won't happen, because they did the whole backstage segment with Paul Heyman and the Braun Stars to basically tell us, like, yeah, they're probably not going to interfere in this matchup because he said he wants Braun to go after the one man who becomes the World Heavyweight Champion between Punk and Uso. We also got Alan who says here, well, the WWE shoes has been revealed. The Roman versus Punk is going to be good, but night 2 is going to end with Brock as WWE champion. Don't wish that evil upon us, please. Please don't do that. We got Hassan in the chat who says, "Hi there, guys. I'm back in. Good to see you." We got also here, we got some love for Maggie in the chat. Thank you, guys. Always appreciate y'all for doing that. We also got Volop who says, "If Drew doesn't win, he should start eating chicken and rice and get fired." I mean, that's one way to put it. That's one way to put it. Alan says, SP3, how have you not gone crazy with watching the nonsense that is WWE, AEW, and TNA booking? I mean, I have a good time of fixing a lot of their errors, and in 2025, a lot of WWE booking has been errors. TNA, I watched that with my brain turned off. So it's not, I don't have to really think of that really critically. I just have to watch it for the True Heel Heat flagship podcast and just write down what happens. I don't really have to think critically until they mix up with WWE NXT, and then the booking is just an absolute mess. New Japan is not that much better either. Anything in wrestling, you don't have to put any promotion letters. You could have just said wrestling booking. Wrestling booking is a lot of nonsense. And I don't go crazy because I have children. They need me to keep my sanity for them. We got Valop who says, look, man, I'm coming off the ITW Major League fucking. So those ass comments are on point. Valop says, God forbid Jeremy makes that a clip. I did not watch In the Weeds today. I know I'm not a good weedy. I'm not a top leader like Valop here, but I will ask about that. That's all I'll say. Let me know in the live chat what your hype level is for WWE Saturday night's main event for November 1st in Salt Lake City, Utah. As far as I'm concerned, my hype level is at like a 6. It's at like a 6 because I think that the card can deliver. I think all the matches can deliver to a certain level. I expect it to, at the very least, I think every single match on this card should be decent. If they're able to go out there, they don't have like screwy finishes or any type of weird booking. When the performers are able to perform and wrestle, they usually wrestle very good to sometimes great in WWE. Sometimes the booking gets in the way of that, and that's going to be the issue. And I think it's above like the mid-level of 5 out of 10, mainly because I am interested in the Punk and Jey World Heavyweight Championship result, not because whoever wins is going to lose to Braun Breaker. We know that's a load of bullshit here. If you think otherwise, explain why. But because I'm interested to see if WWE takes a risk, takes a pivot, and turns one of the competitors in that Punk and Uso matchup heel. Because both of them have laid down seeds or dropped a couple of teases and hints that they could possibly turn heel. Whether it's been Jey Uso over the last couple of months, whether it be CM Punk this past week on Monday Night Raw, there are a chance that we may get one of these guys to turn heel. So Monday Night Raw has a new top heel in place of Seth Rollins while they still are building up Braun Breaker. Why they are still building up Braun Breaker, that is not a question for me. For the undisputed WWE Championship, though, it is going to be Cody Rhodes defending against Drew McIntyre. Back at WWE WrestlePalooza in September, Cody Rhodes picked up the victory against Drew McIntyre to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. From there, Drew kept on his pursuit of the championship until Jacob Fatu made his return to WWE, took out Drew McIntyre. A number one contenders matchup was set up for a couple of weeks ago on Friday Night SmackDown when McIntyre apparently or reportedly or allegedly attacked Jacob Fatu backstage. Jacob Fatu had a busted mouth, teeth missing. Drew McIntyre has feigned his innocence, but that didn't stop Cody Rhodes from getting pissed off, challenging Drew McIntyre to a WWE Championship matchup. That match ended in controversy when Cody Rhodes used the WWE title and blasted Drew McIntyre in the forehead with it, causing a disqualification. From there, they brawled in the post-match, and then a match was made for Saturday night's main event. Cody and Drew, their third meeting this year for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre is still trying to feign innocence of the attack on Jacob Fatu. Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, really hasn't explained why he did what he did, why he got himself disqualified in the last meeting with Drew McIntyre. Could Cody Rhodes be turning heel before our eyes? Will Drew McIntyre defeat him finally for the WWE Championship? This is something that was reportedly pitched by Cody and Drew back at WWE WrestlePalooza to give that show an impactful ending. Will we get the impactful ending of Cody's second reign at this show here? I think because of the reports that we've heard of how WWE is viewing this show, that the WWE Saturday Night's Main Event is now just a Peacock exclusive. It's not on NBC and Peacock anymore. It's just a Peacock exclusive. WWE doesn't view this show as being a major priority. They don't want a lot of their big moments, the moment merchants that they are not going to want one of their big moments like Cody Rhodes losing the WWE Championship to happen on this show. I just don't believe it because of everything we've heard of, WWE Saturday Night's Main Event is not big enough for Braun Breaker to win the World Heavyweight Championship. So we're going to have the bigger title change hands on this show. I'm just not buying it. Can I be wrong? Absolutely. I'll be wrong on a bunch of my predictions from here to the day I stop doing YouTube previews for pay-per-views, PLEs, and major events. I might be wrong. Drew McIntyre may walk out as WWE champion, but there's nothing that I've seen on WWE television and from the reports that we're hearing about other things and how they view Saturday Night's Main Event that makes me believe that Drew McIntyre is beating Cody this Saturday for that title. If Drew is going to become the champion, I think they delay that title change for an episode of SmackDown before they change that title on Saturday Night's Main Event. I am saying I think they view Saturday Night's Main Event as beneath Raw and SmackDown, which makes it even worse that John Cena's retirement tour is ending on the next one. But that is how the company views Saturday Night's Main Event. That's not how me personally views Saturday Night's Main Event. We got in the chat Volop who says, man, free Drew Galloway. He says, y'all, you're way too chill about Braun today. I'm way too chill about Braun today because I think they have Volop, they've beaten the give a fuck out of me. I don't think I give a fuck anymore. I know people are like, oh my God, it's only been 2 weeks since Seth got injured. I'm not really willing to go on this ride for another year, another 6 months, another 4 months, another 3 months. Like Braun Breaker should have just been the world champion after he did what he did to Seth Rollins. After you do that angle, the only logical follow-up is for Braun Breaker to take the mantle of Seth Rollins. He didn't do that. It's been 2 weeks. He's beaten LA Knight like he always beats LA Knight on an episode of Raw. That's an improvement over the first week. So, kind of like this shrug. Yeah. Alan says, if Drew loses, he needs to find a private phone and call Tony. Show up on Dynamite in a mask and call himself El Galloway. He should be Andrade El Galloway. We then got Volop who says they already got the big moment. We are getting a new world heavyweight champion anyway. Yeah, exactly. And they don't want to crown a new world heavyweight champion with Braun Breaker. They want to crown someone who's winning the world heavyweight championship that we've already seen win the world heavyweight championship this year. They're not going to have Drew beat Cody for the undisputed WWE championship on the same show. Just don't see it. Yeah, it kind of feels like a Battle of the Belts style main event. You know the result already. Volop says, gonna tell it right now. The final Saturday Night's Main Event of the year is getting a 10 out of 10 from me. I was there day one for Cena. I will see it through to the end no matter what. I'm a day one John Cena fan as well. I was there. I remember watching that episode of SmackDown when he came out and said he had ruthless aggression to Kurt Angle. I had the Word Life DVD back in 2003 when I was in high school. My American Online name was Jey Cena KB8 because I was a huge John Cena and Kobe Bryant fan. I will be there as well. I will rate it properly, though. I'm not just going to say, oh, I'm a fan. This is a 10 out of 10 show. Nope. I will rate it properly because, God forbid, WWE mess up his final show. But they can. And I won't say they will. Hopefully they will. Alan says, but SP3, Braun has to finish his story. It's all about that. It's all about that. Oh, okay. He said 10 out of 10 for hype. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's going to be high. It's going to be high for John Cena's final match. John Cena, for God's sake. But it seems like most of us think that Cody is going to retain versus Drew McIntyre here. For the WWE Intercontinental Championship, you got Dominik Mysterio defending against the two men that have been a thorn in his side and been challenging him for his IC championship over the last couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw. It's going to be Penta and Rusev challenging Dom in a triple threat match this Saturday in Salt Lake City, Utah. Dominik Mysterio has come up with time after time with new ways to retain his Intercontinental Championship, most notably over the last couple of weeks against Rusev twice, getting a victory over him with low blows and using bell hammers. He also used the bell hammer against Penta to retain the title against him. Penta and Rusev have also done their own battles over number one contendership for the Intercontinental Championship, including this past week on Monday Night Raw, which was interrupted by Los Americanos. Of course, El Grande Americano is a good friend of Dominik Mysterio, being seen multiple times helping him retain his Intercontinental Championship or win the AAA Mega Campeon. Will Americano get involved again and Los Americanos get involved in this triple threat match? Or will Dom come up with another way on his own to retain the gold against two prime challengers here? This should be a very fun matchup. I think that Dominik Mysterio might be the best character. It's between him and Asuka as the best character on Monday Night Raw right now. Jey Uso is an honorable mention, but I think it is really neck and neck between Dominik Mysterio and Asuka right now. Dominik Mysterio really coming into form and really finding his stride as an in-ring performer, where he's able to use the lies, cheat, and steal lineage of his real father, Eddie Guerrero, and use it to his advantage and come up with new ways to retain his gold. I've been comparing it for multiple weeks now that this Dominik Mysterio Intercontinental Championship run can be compared, if you look back on Eddie Guerrero's 2003 WWE United States Championship run, where that run was really crucial and pivotal in Eddie Guerrero being seen as a main event star, not only by the fans, but by the company, which led to him winning the WWE Championship the following year. Do I expect the same thing to happen for Dominik Mysterio? Depends if he's sturdy or not with this company. But I think that Dominik Mysterio has been one of the MVPs of the year for WWE. He's just come into his own. He's just improved and flourished and blossomed before our eyes in 2025. As far as Penta and Rusev, I think that this has been an entertaining and an entertaining storyline that they've been involved in, them being involved in this title picture. This feels like Rusev is actually kind of getting in the mix and a part of the company again after making his return in April. Meanwhile, Penta, this is way too many times getting an opportunity at the IC title and losing. This would have been, I think it's like his sixth match on TV for the IC title. Let me just go through it. I'm going to go through it in my head. So he faced Dom on the Raw after WrestleMania and lost. He faced Dom again at Backlash and he lost. He faced Dom a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw and he lost. And now he's facing Dom here. So that's 4 title defenses just off the top of my head. God forbid he got any more on live events, which he probably does. So we're probably in double figures by now on how many times Penta has gotten a shot at the Intercontinental title and failed. That's way too many times. They have kind of, I kind of feel like they are exhausting all their opportunities to give Penta that big singles title win, to the point that they are making it necessary that he's going to have to reunite with Rey Fenix and get into the tag team division, because he's going to have no type of equity as a single star at this point. Remember when he was the hottest new star in WWE this past spring? That feels like a long time ago at this point. Rusev is not over. This match won't make him over, but Dom is. Dom has to retain this title, and I think that Dom will lead into a couple of weeks' time in his hometown of San Diego, having the biggest match of his career, defending the Intercontinental Championship against John Cena in his second to last matchup of his career. That's huge for Dom, and that's a big stamp of approval, and raising a big stamp of, we trust you enough to give you one of John Cena's final matches. That is the biggest match of Dom's career, and that's really the company saying that you're a future main event star for us. So we're giving you one of John Cena's final matches, and he would be only the second new opponent for John Cena during this retirement tour. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the only new person that John Cena has faced in a singles match in 2025 was Logan Paul. Everybody else he faced in singles matches, he's faced before, even Cody. I did that research for an article for Sports Illustrated, and that fact it hits me, and it just tells you how bad the booking has been for this retirement tour. We got here Volop, who says, I wish Penta wins, but Dom will steal it from Rusev hitting Penta with the Moshka kick. He also says Dom versus two pin eaters. Volop says, you really see me giving a 10 out of 10 to a WWE show? I was thinking about this for a game, actually, for Volop. So not for you. I mean, for the True Heel Heat flagship podcast for TikTok time, I was thinking of each of us coming up with the like 5-10 out of 10 wrestling shows that they've seen, and they gotta basically come up with the argument of why it's a 10 out of 10, and they have to get the other people on the panel to agree with them, and the audience, the viewers, you guys, to agree with them as well. And I think there have been 10 out of 10 WWE shows. WrestleMania 17, I think in a lot of ways WrestleMania 40 night 2 is as close to a 10 out of 10 show as we've seen in recent times. So there are 10 out of 10 WWE shows. I don't see you giving them that, but there are 10 out of 10 WWE shows. We got here Hassan says, this is Penta, get it right. He's a Penta enthusiast here. We got Alan, who says, when in hell are we finally going to get the Lucha Bros back together? I think after he fails again, like I said before, he's ran out of equity as a single star. He's going to have to reunite with Rey Fenix and get into the tag team division at some point. Then we got for the WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton will defend against Jade Cargill. It was on last Friday's episode of SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton picked up a win over Kiana James. Post-match, Kiana and Julia jumped Tiffany until Jade Cargill made the save, making her first appearance since her loss in the triple threat match against Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax a couple of weeks ago, where she suffered a bad cut on the top of her eyebrow and got busted open. She made her return, and she proceeded to lay out Tiffany Stratton, turning heel for the first time in her WWE career. That vicious attack led to a match being made between Tiffy and Jade for this Saturday, Salt Lake City, Utah, for the WWE Women's Championship. Jade explained her heel turn by saying that she's sick of waiting, sick of being patient and waiting for her opportunity. This will be her 9th straight WWE Women's Championship matchup, including live events. It will be her 4th straight on television. That's not waiting and being patient. Just want to let Jay know. But I think that there is no question here. This feels like the biggest slam dunk of this. I think there's a chance, there's a 10% chance Drew McIntyre will win the championship against Cody. I think there is a 10% chance maybe Penta or Rusev will be down for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that this is the surefire pick of this show. Tiffany Stratton is losing the WWE Women's Championship. They've already set it up with Jade stomping on her knee and her having knee issues and being medically evaluated after the attack. They set it up with Jade Cargill turning heel. You don't turn heel if you're not going to immediately win the championship. It makes no sense to have her turn heel and have her lose in her first opportunity at the title. This would be booking malpractice if Jade Cargill is not our new women's champion coming out of Saturday night's main event. I'm going to give WWE just a molecule of credit. And I will say they are smart enough to know this is the only result and the most obvious result of the night. Jade Cargill, our new WWE Women's Champion. I think there's no question. That's the move that they have to do. They've kind of set it all in place, and it sets up where Jade Cargill wins. She holds the title for the rest of the year, going into the new year. Royal Rumble, Bianca Belair returned. She wins the Rumble. Bianca versus Jade, WrestleMania, WWE Women's Championship. They've set this up too perfectly. Jade has to win on Saturday. There is no question. Valo says WrestleMania 17 in SummerSlam 2002. Yeah, 2002 SummerSlam. Perfect 10 out of 10. WrestleMania 17 is a 10 out of 10 show, but it's a 10 out of 10 show that does have a match that is skippable. So that's another thing that I wanted to do. It's a game where we talk about 10 out of 10 wrestling shows that do have skips, like the skippable match on a 10 out of 10 wrestling show. I think that would be fun to talk about as well. Alexa Bliss Gamer says, I think Jade wins because of Tiffany's knee injury. I think the knee injury is kind of small in comparison to her turning heel. Her turning heel is the big reason you should think she's gonna win. You don't turn heel and then not win the championship immediately after. Cyclops Better Than Wolverine says Jade needs to win this match and then beat Bianca for credibility. I could see that. I could see her beating Bianca at WrestleMania. That would kind of put her on the map and solidify her as champion. And then finally, this Saturday, the big headline bout for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk versus Jey Uso. A couple of weeks ago on the following Crown Jewel on Monday Night Raw, it was CM Punk who pinned Jey Uso in a triple threat match, including LA Knight, to become the new number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, setting the stage for a big grudge match with his longtime rival Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Unfortunately, the weekend prior at Crown Jewel, Seth Rollins defeated Cody Rhodes to win the Men's Crown Jewel Championship, but in the process, he did a coast-to-coast flying headbutt, which caused a serious shoulder injury, which caused Seth to be sidelined and led to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed turning on Seth Rollins, excommunicating him from the Vision with the help of Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins being sidelined led to Adam Pearce having no choice but to relinquish the World Heavyweight Championship, hold it up for this Saturday at Saturday night's main event. A battle royal was to determine who would face CM Punk for the opportunity, and it was Jey Uso, who was helped twice by his twin brother, Jimmy Uso, avoiding elimination, who eliminated his own brother, Jimmy Uso, and LA Knight before eliminating Dominik Mysterio to win the battle royal and face CM Punk in Salt Lake City. The two men went face to face, where Punk said that he was glad that Jey Uso is thinking for himself, not letting Roman and Jimmy dictate his thoughts, but he thinks that he's not ready for this matchup. Whereas Jey Uso wants to prove himself, wants to prove his first world title run wasn't a fluke, and wants to prove he can stand on his own, and that he is him, and his time is now, and that is just him, Uso. Who's going to walk out World Heavyweight Champion? We got the story of Jey Uso, who has been kind of listening to the advice and manipulation of Roman Reigns and been more selfish, been more focused, more zeroed in on regaining the World Heavyweight Championship. He's been teasing being more aggressive, these negative traits that we usually align with a heel, despite Jey Uso being one of the most popular superstars in all of WWE today. On the other side of the ring, you got CM Punk, who is one of the biggest faces in all of WWE and all of professional wrestling today. He gets one of the biggest reactions every single week on Monday Night Raw. He was basically tailor-made to have this opportunity against Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship on this evening. And now he has the opportunity to become a champion again after holding the title for a very brief time at SummerSlam before being cashed in by Seth Rollins. Can Punk regain the title, sit up top, finally get a reign as world champion, despite being a 4-time world champion since his return in 2021. He won the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing 2022. In his first appearance as champion on Dynamite, he proceeded to break his ankle and he was sidelined for months, had to basically relinquish the title. He lost the title then to Jon Moxley when he came back, and then won it back from Jon Moxley at All Out 2022, and then proceeded to do Brawl Out and had to vacate the title immediately thereafter. So barely like an hour as world champion before he ruined that. Then he won the World Heavyweight Championship earlier this year at SummerSlam, held it for 5 minutes before Seth Rollins, with the ruse of the century, cashed in and won the world title from him. So this will be his 4th reign. Can he finally have an actual reign is the question. And will it be because he turns heel? CM Punk turning heel has been something that's been discussed since he returned to wrestling in All Elite Wrestling back in 2021. And he's always kind of teased the fact that it will be huge. It's going to be a big thing. With the fact that Seth Rollins was given so much investment as the top heel, will WWE want to pivot and make one of these guys the next top heel for Monday Night Raw, for someone like Roman Reigns around WrestleMania time to face for the World Heavyweight Championship, for your LA Knights of the world to challenge on the road to WrestleMania? They have a lot of options. AJ Styles, who's finishing up his career, could be a challenger for a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity if one of these guys does turn heel. It's very interesting, and it finds WWE in an intriguing decision that they can make here. Will they just go the status quo and just have one of these guys stay babyface and win the World Heavyweight Championship? 9 times out of 10, that is my guess. If I'm going to say that WWE actually takes a risk again, I'm going to say it's more likely they turn Jey Uso heel. They'll turn Jey Uso heel before they turn CM Punk heel. I think they want to save the CM Punk heel turn for someone bigger. If he's going to turn heel, he's going to do it on a Roman Reigns. He's going to do it on a Cody Rhodes. He's going to do it on one of their top guys. Not the guy they're trying to make a top guy that is being basically ceremoniously rejected by a portion of the fan base every time you post a YouTube video. I don't know if they're going to do that on him, because you don't know for sure if it's going to connect and if it's going to land if you're doing it on someone that some of the fan base don't really like and have proven and have shown they don't really like that much, other than outside of the building. Every time he comes out in the building, they're all on their feet, they're all yeeting, but it seems like online, the social media, the IWC, don't like Jey Uso all too much. So is he the right person to do something as huge as a CM Punk heel turn for the first time since his return to pro wrestling 4 years ago? I don't know if WWE is willing to take that kind of risk. They are willing to risk Jey Uso turning heel, but do I think Jey Uso turns heel and wins the World Heavyweight Championship? No, I don't think that benefits his story. I think that you can have a scenario where Punk beats Jey Uso fair and square, and Jey Uso turns heel in the post-match. And I think that is going to be my prediction for this matchup. I think CM Punk will become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Finally get that reign that he's been waiting for and that his fan base has been waiting for him to finally have the World Heavyweight Championship and have an actual run with it, and probably go into WrestleMania 42 against Roman Reigns 1 year later after their triple threat match, one-on-one. Who's the better man, Punk or Roman, for the world title? That could be the main event of night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania 42. So I think that's the match they go with, but I think that Jey Uso does turn heel post-match. Where he goes after that, that is an interesting question, and that should be something that will be one of the lead stories going further in WWE for the rest of the year. We got here Cyclops better than Wolverine. No matter who wins at the main event, fans will cry. Well, that's most things, to be fair. Most things, yeah. Hassan says he votes for CM Punk for the new championship. Power Drive Finisher also going with Punk. We got Alan who says CM Punk wins, and then Gunther comes out and tells Punk he will see him at Survivor Series. He says this match should have been LA Knight to turn heel and finally win the world title that fans have been waiting almost 4 years for. If they didn't do Braun Breaker should be in this matchup. Braun Breaker should be the World Heavyweight Champion. After you do the angle where Braun Breaker basically engineers a whole coup of kicking Seth Rollins out of the group, the only next step that you have to do is make him the World Heavyweight Champion. Make him a bona fide main event star. Don't say, no, we're going to do that quick turn, that quick pivot of the whole vision, but we're going to slow it down. We're going to wait a while before he becomes world champion. It should be Braun Breaker here. The second option was LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight versus CM Punk is a match that the fans want to see. You've been building it for the last couple of months. Fans wanted to see that more than your fatal four-way world title matchup back at Clash in Paris just a couple of months ago. The obvious pick was LA Knight if you weren't going to go with Braun Breaker. They decided to go with Jey Uso. This company, I don't know what to say at this point, but that's Saturday night's main event. That's my predictions for Saturday night's main event, but that is just my prediction. That is my thoughts, my opinions. That is not the opinion. That is not the predictions for Saturday night's main event. If you feel differently, if you have your own predictions, if you think something wild, if you think a huge moment will happen this Saturday, let me know in the comments down below. Let's keep the conversation going there. Thank you so much to everyone who sound off in the live chat. Final call for super chat donations as we wind things down here. And I always appreciate any of the support that you could give us. So if you could drop the thumbs up on the video, that helps us out so much with the YouTube algorithm and helps other wrestling fans like yourself see this preview as well and be a part of the conversation that we had here today. You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHeelSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHeelHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHeelHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. Go over and check out the GOAT match series with our final rewatch of Ric Flair versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat from Wrestle War 1989, the final match of their highly acclaimed trilogy from 1989. That's what me and Jimmy are watching this week. And check out the next one, which we're going to be watching, the Ring of Honor Classic between Samoa Joe and Kenta Kobashi, which is celebrating the 20-year anniversary this year. So that's going to be up on Patreon more than likely next week. But check out all the great content we got right here on the channel for you to enjoy as well. We had our WWE NXT Halloween Havoc 2025 review, where I broke down this past Saturday's premium live event. 3 new champions crowned, including Tatum Paxley becoming the new NXT Women's Champion. Check out Rated Raw review with myself and Robert D. Felice returning to us here on the channel, where we broke down this week's Monday Night Raw, featuring the final face-to-face between CM Punk and Jey Uso, as well as the Kabuki Warriors stating their claim for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, and the hell of a banger between Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria. Also, go over the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel. That is our second channel where we talk about everything else outside of the world of wrestling, including the NFL, the NBA, as well as all the biggest TV shows of the year. We got our season 2 final review for Peacemaker. That's going to be coming up this week, probably on Friday. I'll be reviewing season 2, episodes 6 through 8. And we'll figure out how did James Gunn drop the ball or fumble on the finale of Peacemaker. Yes, we'll talk about it. Live. It'll be live on True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment. I'll be back with you live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. AE Ramble, the best AEW Dynamite review in the land. It'll be myself and Jimmy Macaram talking all about tonight's AEW Fright Night Dynamite. We got a fatal 4-way to determine the number 1 contender for Hangman Adam Page's AEW World Title at Full Gear. We got a fatal 4-way to determine who's going to first Brodito for the AEW World Tag Team titles at Full Gear tonight. So we're going to break it all down tomorrow with you. So join us live and become a part of the conversation there as well. Thank you to everyone who contributed today. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our WWE Saturday Night's main event, November 1st, 2025 preview. We are signing off until next time.